Hi, very good evening to you all, and welcome to Colombo School of Business and Management and webinar of English for Business Communication, which leads to the executive development program called General Spoken English and Business Communication. And I'm Pubudu, Assistant General Manager for Colombo School of Business and Management. So today is a free opening session. We'll give you an idea of what we have planned for you for your development, and our moderator and panel of lecturers will explain why we should be conversant in English for business communication if we are to achieve progressive performance goals, which is of the significant value of this modern management domain under challenging content, which is a very, very essential requirement as well. From there on, Rashana will take you through the structure of the program, and you can expect in the weeks to come, which we're going to start next week. And first of all, a little bit talk about the program. It has been designed to add value for corporate management, entrepreneurs, and undergraduates who are the next generation of business leaders. We try our level best to bring the business academic quality and practical aspect in order to deliver a program that will add value to your career path as well as your personal development as well. So in achieving these objectives, we have scheduled the support of few extraordinary intellectual and inspiring corporate leaders in the industry to collaborate with us to give you the best possible outcome from our online platform during these challenging times. Just to give you a brief about us, the Colombo School of Business Management, established 6 years ago, was a result of a successful integration between the academic sector and the corporate sector of Sri Lanka. The school was the brainchild of leader in academic spearhead of Professor Bandara and giant in the corporate world, Mr. Diane Gomez, very known figures in Sri Lanka. And it was their vision to build leaders that can successfully maneuver and navigate the corporate world and achieve success. They believe that this can be achieved through the power of learning, and this is what we constantly strive for, to provide quality learning and diverse exposure to the Sri Lankan population that will help them succeed in the business world. We are not in the business of issuing piece of paper. We are the business of helping Sri Lanka continuously to improve. We engage those who have succeeded in the corporate world to create a platform for our students to interact and learn. Therefore, we focus heavily in our resource personnel, the tools that we help shape Sri Lanka's future as in a progress manner. A few examples of rather some of the people that are contributed to our programs include the titans such as Professor W. Rashma, former Central Bank Governor, and Dr. Lalit Viratunga, Mr. Vegapektia, and also General Dairat Naika, who is our honorary chairman as well for Colombo School of Business and Management. And Dr. Ajit Kolone, Senior DIG Ajit Rohana, Mahela Jawardhan, Bharti Santos. All these individuals have gone to the top of the domain. So we work with these individuals and design customized programs that are current and relevant to our market. This is why we are selected in the linking with foreign universities as well. We do not believe in the program, one program fit for all concept. Instead, we want to have programs that cater to our country, our market, our needs at the time as well. So our affiliations, just to keep in note, KIT University of India, PSM UK, CINEC, NIOE, and also TVEC allow us to customize our programs while ensuring highest standard and recognition. So we hope that this journey that you are about to embark on will give you the opportunity to enhance your knowledge and sharpen your skills, learn from those who have succeeded. We hope it will give you the strength and the required tools to get one step closer to success. We offer a wide range of programs in corporate training, public sector development, which is include the mini MBA, we call the executive manager development program, science of HR, non-HR professionals, and finance or non-finance professionals as well. In addition, the academic program related to the business management domain, and also sports science, fitness, mental health, psychology and counseling, trade management as professional qualification for export and import sector as well. And if you even were interested, would like to find out more information, please feel free to speak to our young dynamic coordination team to obtain any details you require regarding these programs. So we wish you all the very best in all your future endeavors. Hope you will continue to make CSB your learning partner in the future as well. So by introducing CSBM in a digital manner, so as I've looked to actually invite moderator of the webinar, Ms. Krishani Heva Visanti, who is a consultant for CSBM, to take the event forward with the panel of guest lecturers as well. So best wishes, and once again, I would like to warmly invite Mr. Krishani Heva Visanti, who is our moderator tonight, to take this program forward. Best wishes to Krishanti.
Thank you, Pugudu. Thank you for that lovely introduction. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, my fellow lecturers, my team, and all of you who have joined, hopefully our future students. Welcome. Let me see, I have 48 of you all logged in here today. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Just to give you a little bit. Okay. Are we good? Okay. I'd like to just tell you a little bit about the design of this program, which when I actually designed the program, what I had in mind was a language program to enhance communication in the professional or the business sector. There's always this little confusion that we have about what is professional English, what is spoken English, what are these different versions of English that we talk about, and how do we use it? How do we know when to use what? So this program was actually designed to help those who have some element of fluency or none learn the rules or better what they know. So there is something in it for everyone. There's a lot of practical activity as well as a selection of resource people, which you will talk to or hear from today. And you can ask some questions as well. So I have directed a few language learning questions to this wonderful team of resource who support this program in the last couple of batches, just so that those who are watching us or listening to us will know why this program is effective and different to others. Okay. Dilrukshi, you are here. I'm going to start with you. You have been a champion for some time. How are you?
Shani, good to see you. Hi. I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Thank you for all the great work that you do for us. And it's a pleasure to have you with us. Dilrukshi is a Toastmaster and an expert in the spoken English area. She knows why or how to use techniques, when to use them, how to apply them at the right time, and also to improve the fluency of a language. And so I would like to just ask you, Dilrukshi, give us, if I asked you a question, how could you improve vocabulary? What's the advice you would give our potential, candidates today? How would we improve vocabulary?
Thank you, Krishani, and thank you for the team for inviting me. And it's a joy to see all of you who are connected. I think we have about 52. That's a very good number, along with the panel as well. Yes. So to begin with, to answer your question, Krishani, now, first of all, how we can improve our vocabulary, let me ask all of you, maybe maybe Krishani, what do you mean by vocabulary, right? So vocabulary
is what we have to say. How do we talk on a topic knowledgeably? How do we say it explain ourselves in a way that we are understood?
Definitely. Thank you so much, Krishani. So maybe since it's the first question, I might not ask from others, but just since you're there, Krishani, I just wanted to ask from you. So vocabulary is basically, yes, exactly what Krishani mentioned. Now, when it comes to vocabulary, it's how we use the words that we use when we speak or express ourselves to others. Right? For an example, if we want to talk to maybe somebody in our organization or to our friends or to our school teachers, if you're still a student, the amount of words that we use and vocabulary is something like the limited usage of words that we put it into practice. But then having said that, there is a whole lot of area, whole lot of words that we are not using at the end. So it's only a limited amount of words that we're using. And when we try to express ourselves with others, sometimes we might look for a word that we want to tell them, but we are lacking. So that shows we are looking for a word and it's not coming because we haven't used it before. Right? So here, how we can improve our vocabulary is a way how we can maybe acquire certain words that are there, which are dormant in our language or maybe behind our head, maybe acquiring those languages and putting it to practice. And maybe how can you put it into practice? Unless if you're a working person, you can either use it during when you're talking to your colleagues or maybe in your talking to your bosses. But apart from that, if you join a session which is conducted by CSBM, we have a nice platform where all the students are allowed, they are given the freedom to use their vocabulary. And the benefits, what we gain is we'll be able to improve our listening, speaking, writing, and also reading skills when we have a good knowledge of our vocabulary. And how we can use it basically by sharing our expressions, using it more fluently, frequently, and then use it in our practical day-to-day life as well. For an example, now we'll say if you are facing an interview, they might ask you, okay, tell us a little bit about your hometown. So one could basically start by saying, well, my hometown is Kandy and it's a big city. It is famous for a big temple and there's a big garden. So we only know the word big, but then there are so many other ways or words that we can replace the word big. For an example, huge, gigantic, mammoth, so many words. So when we keep on exploring or utilizing the words that we haven't used before, and that is how we can keep on improving our vocabulary, which will add value, add flavor, add beauty to the way we speak or the way we express ourselves to others. And we never know, indirectly, if you speak in a language where using a lot of vocabulary, what is only the relevant words, definitely you never know. In the panel, there could be one person in the future when the organization is looking for somebody, a creative person who is good in language, definitely that line manager might request from the management to release maybe one of you to join his team. So there are indirect benefits and also there are direct benefits. So I don't know whether my answer could be very lengthy.
Very good.
Just to want to show the different aspects hidden and the vocabulary, how we use it can really benefit us. So by that, we need to improve our vocabulary. Krishani?
Actually, very, very correct. Now, as you said, we only use the word huge or big, but, we could say it has the oldest temple or a historical site. We know these words, but because we are not used to using them, they're not top of mind recall. So we create a safe space for spoken language where you get to use the words in the correct context and you will remember to use it. Yeah, again. Thank you so much, Rukshi. I hope that was understood by everyone, why it's really important, because I'm sure we know that on the computer, there's a thing called synonyms. You always wonder why there are synonyms. It is the same word in different forms. But do you ever wonder when do you apply those words? How do you apply those words? So that's what we're talking about. That's what improving vocabulary is about. Thank you so much. Okay. I shall invite, because Dirukshi takes a guest, will be taking guest lectures for us on this particular program. So you know what she knows. You know that there is so much for everyone to learn from her. I'm going to ask a question from each of my resource so that everybody knows, you know, who they have teaching them. Okay, thank you. Is Langi? Langi, you're here? Ah, you're here. Okay. Hi, Langi. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. This is Langi. She is a corporate trainer, another young lady who is very well versed in English, good with her corporate communication. Actually, though she's speaking to us, she handles most of our writing stuff. You know, whether it's about how you write professional emails or letters, maybe even if you have to put together an official proposal, that sort of thing. Those segments are what she has been handling for us. For you, I have, let's see, my question. Yeah, for you, I have, tell us a little bit about what is professional language.
So, okay.
Explain to us, yes.
Of course. So when you talk about language, it's a very wide thing. But of course, when it comes to professional language, there are different expectations that come within that language. There are time spans, there are constraints, and you know, you want to have concise communication. There's a need for precision words, where you use the absolutely correct word at the correct place, so that comprehension is quicker. We can't, you know, have long or tall stories in an email, for example. So sometimes by using a word like saying furthermore or moreover, for example, that brings attention to the fact that this is something additional, or apart from that, despite that. So you start with a word like that, so the attention of the reader is drawn to that particular word in that particular context. So that's, again, you know, if you expand from what Dirukshi said, you can use vocabulary in a professional setting. Similarly, there are also, you know, there's a style of writing that we must use in a professional setting. There's a way that we write. It's not, and things have changed, times have changed. We are not very formal. We don't write your dearest honorable sir anymore. There's a different style of writing. But that doesn't mean that we go to a hello, howdy kind of attitude either. You are still writing a professional email. You are representing an organization. So your communication is representative of the organization you represent as a whole. So you have to retain that professionalism, that mannerism, the style, not only the style, but the vocabulary use, the way you write. And like I said, we live in times where time is of the essence. We work across geography. So you have to adapt to all this change. So you have to have that ability to use your vocabulary in the correct context, in a professional manner, and therefore make sure that you are articulate or clear in the way you represent your argument, whether it's an email or a proposal or a memo or anything. And also that the comprehension is from the perspective of the reader. If I'm writing to a subordinate, the style I write will differ. If I'm writing to a superior, it will differ. If I'm writing to a client, there's a difference. So that you have to understand from that point of view as well. So it's a long process, but there are little tips, like you said, that you can use. And you know, the application of that is what we encourage. So we always, you know, give them ideas, and then we always have an open screen. We ask them to share their screens, write emails, discuss, so that you also learn from each other. And because you are from varying industries, I think that's an eye-opener for even for me. I also learn every time. Different industries have different styles, different particular jargon, things like that. So, you know, that is what professional language is. It's the ability to transcend language into that setting and context so that you are clear and the reader is clearly comprehends what you have to say within that particular time span.
So as you see, it's not just about using professional language verbally or vocally in offices or in corporate sector or in companies. It is also about keeping it, the mood of the workplace is dictated to by the terms that we use in the workplace. So that's also very important. If we are too casual, then our work style also becomes ultra casual. So we do remind you of things like that. Even if you have friends or you have friendships, we say to keep things, professional language means speak always courteously, refer to each other officially, and to maintain a certain standard in a work environment. Thank you, Langi. Good to see you. I have next Mahisha Abetunga. She is one of our in-house resource. She is a lecturer on one of our other programs also called the English Express, which we conduct for CNEC campus. Is she here? Are you here, Mahisha? Do I see you?
Yes, Ms. Krishani, I'm here.
You're here. Okay,
Yeah.
but you are
Yeah, I
covered.
can't.
Right.
So I can't start my video because I'm not signed as a co-host apparently.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait a
yes.
minute. She will adjust that for you. All right.
Okay. So
Okay.
yeah. So yeah. Good evening, Ms. Krishani, and hello everyone. Yeah. So it's good to be here today with you all.
Thanks, Mahisha. Mahisha, I've got a question for you. Can you tell us a little bit about common mistakes in language learning? This is just so that we have an audience who may have different fluency rates, may have gotten used to different styles and patterns of talking, and may have certain adjustments they need to make. Just bring to our attention what some common mistakes could be when we learn to speak in a language that is not too familiar to us. I mean, it comes in as our second language. Some of us are more fluent in it than others. What would you consider to be any common mistakes that we make?
Yeah, so that's a very interesting question as well. So yeah, so in a way, what I see is that one of the main problems we have in English learning is that we always see English as a something that we have to learn by force. It's not something, a skill that we should acquire. We just have to learn it because we have to learn it. So then we always think, okay, knowing grammar is the best part of the language. We need to memorize it. We need to know everything regarding the grammar. And I think because of that, we tend to forget all the other aspects of the language. Because, yeah, knowing grammar is important. We should know the order of the sentence, and we should know how to use the proper prepositions, conjunctions like that. But apart from that, there are many things that in the language. So most of the important thing we forget, like any other language, like the way we use it differs, because we can't include the same context to everywhere, because what we speak in a day-to-day life is not the language we use for our professional purposes. And then we have this sort of a gap. Okay, so we know grammar. So after that, what is that? Because then the idea of vocabulary comes into play, because we always tend to forget that part, and we always focusing on grammar, and we forget that we need to know vocabulary. We need to know what kind of language we can use. It's not only about being fluent in grammar. It's not only about knowing all the grammar details. It's about speaking, because at the end of the day, what we consider a fluent speaker is the person who knows to use the language. Even though we make mistakes, we kind of feel, okay, so this person knows how to use the language. That is the most important thing. And I think that is the part we are forgetting, because in a professional environment, especially, that it's very difficult to become a fluent speaker, because we kind of forget that there's a two difference between professional and between other types of learning and the type of speaking. So I think that is where the speakers mostly go wrong. And also we have other things, such as also we have these certain ideologies we have in our mind, that we need to speak English in a different way, in a separate way. We need to speak with an accent. We need to speak English in much more different way than others. And we are kind of reluctant to speak, okay, others are smiling at me, I am speaking wrong English. So those are the things I see that especially affects our language learning. And those are the mistakes we make, not very huge ones, because these little mistakes are the ones that actually stops us from learning language. Because what we need to do is we have to stop fearing the language, because it's a language is something to be enjoyed. It's not something to be feared, in my belief. I always enjoy English because it was something like a comfort zone for me. And I've seen sometimes people feel like it's like a battlefield. In Sinhala, we called it kaduwa. So they kind of feel it's something that's come to choke them, some to hurt them. And it shouldn't be something like that. It should be something
or as an
enjoyed.
obstacle, like it's
Exactly.
an obstacle to they are getting what they want because they don't have the confidence to speak it. Actually, building confidence will help your language. And that's what most of what we are trying to do in this program is create a safe space for you to learn. So the opportunity is there for you to take that and learn rather than, you need to practice. Practice is what makes, is what gives you the improvement. And that's one of those things, because you're quite right. We have these images of how we have to speak English. Should it be with an accent? Will we get laughed at? Have we, and all of this pushes us back. So not using it, I think, is one of the biggest mistakes that we make, and which keeps us from growing ourselves within the language. Thank you so much, Mahisha. Okay. And I have next Miss Asha Jayakudi. She's also one of our very own in-house lecturers. Are you there?
Yes, Ms. Krishani, good evening.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening,
Welcome. Hi. Okay, so for you, I'm asking you about, can you tell us some self-learning techniques? Anything that comes to mind? Because, sorry, language can be taught. You can attend class, but like anything else, you need to also have some self-improvement ideas, because we have to do a bit of the work ourselves as well. So give us your thoughts on that.
Yeah, of course, Ms. Krishani. That's a very good area that we need to talk about. So especially now, as we all live in a technological world, we have a lot of kind of resources now for us to refer the language. So especially now, I just got to know about certain websites, podcasts, YouTube channels. Especially now, there was a YouTube channel called English Conversation. So it goes with very small conversations with subtitles. So they have different varieties of conversations, little conversations, and then step by step it goes to the intermediate level and to advanced level conversations. So I always recommend that channel to my students because it's very easy to follow for all the levels of students. So it generally gives the way to handle the language very effectively and very simple manner to be comfortable with the language. So I just saw that Fluent U app that also gives very interesting kind of materials for students, videos, audios, all the materials on a free basis. And we can even download that to our mobile phones and have it use it very efficiently to learn the language. So if we focus on pronunciation, so I just see we need to refer to BBC News or CNN News. Now, think as an example, if it's difficult to follow at the initial level, so we can go for the Sri Lankan news channels, which are broadcast in English news. So then after that, we can step by step go to BBC or CNN News to follow the pronunciation, the way that they handle the language, and to be more comfortable with the language. So when talking about the pronunciation, we can just refer to dictionaries, online dictionaries, especially Merriam-Webster dictionary, that gives the opportunity to pronounce the word. So if we don't know the correct word, with the word by searching the meaning as well as the pronunciation can be searched online, which is very easy for us to refer to all these words, because now sometimes we just pronounce the word which is comfortable for us, which is not the correct pronunciation. So it's very helpful in that regard. So apart from that, I just saw a resource called Spoky. So there we are given certain movie clips. With movie clips, we can learn the language. So think as an example, so we are not so much interested to read narrative or descriptive information in English. So then we can search our materials in our interest, just like as an example, or movies or about actors, actresses, and those information. Through our interest, we can brush up our knowledge at the initial level. And step by step, we can develop our knowledge in that regard. So likewise now, watching these TV commercials also I prefer as a very good method to learn English, because within a very short and limited time, we are given so much exposure to language. So I think that it's very lucky to be in this technological age, because we have a lot of resources now for our students to learn and to brush up their language. So I think it's good. Now we should have our self-learning as well. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you know, half of what you described, we as children, I raise my hand, would say we learn from books, from reading books. But because reading books have become not quite the mode of learning today, and we've moved into, say, the technological field, and we are all, you know, on what's online and things like that, we must then connect with what's online and learn. The news of any kind is the best way to improve day-to-day vocabulary on current affairs. When you meet a stranger and you want to know, you know, something, well, if you've listened to the news, you have something to talk about. You know what happened yesterday, you know what's happening tomorrow, and you've heard the words, you've heard the context, and you have the information. So listening to a news channel is one of the very best ways, I would say, to improve your day-to-day vocabulary on regular use. It gives you a good feel for what is out there. Thanks a lot, Asha. Last but not least, I have Kaushalya. Are you there? Kaushalya, are you there? Do we have her? I have one more resource. Do I not see her here? Okay, I think maybe she's not here. Kaushalya, is she here? Anyone see her? No. Okay,
I think Kay, she has logged out due to technical.
She has logged out, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, my apologies. All right. Anyway, I'm so glad we have 5 of us here, or rather 6 of us, and we had one more. She was going to take a question on how to improve pronunciation. Asha did cover most of that. One of my pet projects or homework tips when I take a session on pronunciation are, of course, tongue twisters, which everybody laughs at. But actually, you know, if you practice a tongue twister every morning, it will do great things for your vocabulary, for how you sound, for your pronunciation. It works all the required muscles in your mouth, in your tongue, in your jawline. We know every language uses different muscle groups in our entire, whatever we use to speak, whether it's our facial expressions, our throat, our mouth. Different languages uses different muscles, and the points of which the tongue hits is how we pronounce our words. And that's what tongue twisters are there in a language for, to help you to do this. It is there in every language, and it can be great fun. So that's what I would have covered with her. This is us. This is what we have to share on some things about learning English. Are there any questions from our participants for any one of us before we go on to the details about the program? Are there any questions? The floor is open. Please do ask any questions. No questions? Okay. All right, then I shall hand
Hi,
over
Kate.
to, hi.
There's one question. Did you reply to that message? How do you
Uh,
identify the level of knowledge what we have at the moment?
oh, so sorry, I missed that. How do you
Yeah.
identify the level of for language? Okay. So when you say how do you identify, if you are trying to identify it for yourself, I would recommend doing a couple of online tests. There are many. You just Google language tests, they will give you levels 1, 2, 3, and just find out for yourself if that's for yourself. But if you want to know from a professional point of view how you are doing, say, for example, if you came to us, we would give you an assessment, pre-assessment of, we know the standard of the program, so we would give you a pre-assessment against the standard of the program. So we knew by the standard of the program at what level you are at, and therefore how much improvement you will get once you have finished the program. So we can show that to you quite tangibly. So there are two ways. If it's a personal thing and you want to know, you will have to go to some personal assessment methods. But if it is something professional you would like to do, you can join a program like ours. But of course, if you also want to do something well standardized, you could do like an IELTS exam, and you could get yourself a very different general English and see your score on that. So that is a different gradation altogether. That is a standardized fit that you would get from a English Standard Institute. So I hope that answered your question. Taranga, did that answer your question?
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Actually, I'm the one who asked that question.
Okay.
I tell you that I'm able to manage spoken, but as mentioned by Didukshi, I don't have much vocabulary of the vocabulary. So I want to collect the words. Actually, I want to improve my spoken as well as written ability. So I think if I join this, I'll able to improve that area, improve that area. But I just want to know what is the knowledge level of what I have at the moment, because if I join with this, I don't know whether I'll able to catch up this. I'll able to go with these people.
Okay.
With my knowledge capability.
Yeah, I understand what your fear might be. Right. Yeah. So now that's the beauty of about this program. This program is an open level program. You can come in. You did very well with how you communicated with us just now. You were confident and you persevered with what you wanted to communicate. That's actually the only confidence and the encouragement we need from you to join the program. You are willing, right? You have taken that first step. So go the extra mile and join the class. You won't be disappointed, because if you have got it in you saying, I want to improve, we can teach you. That's what we need for you to be willing. Your standard right now does not matter, because when you join the class, we will take you from whatever your standard is to the highest point that we can within the class, right? There may be others who join who are better than you, may climb a little bit further, but everybody progresses in their own pace, because if we give an exercise, everybody will answer it and attempt it in a different way, but everyone improves as they attempt the assignment or the program, or participates in the activity. Everybody improves, and there's individual attention given to anything that needs to be corrected. So I hope that answered your question, and anybody else's fears that they might have along the same lines. Is there anything else like that I can answer? Okay, there's some, okay, yes. We have a few anxious to know the actual program details, length of time. and the course structure. Yes, we are getting to that really, really soon. Are there no other questions? No, we are good. Okay. I think I can hand over to Rashana. If anybody thinks of a question, please do type it in. Even at the end of the course description and everything, we can still answer your questions for you, not a worry. I'd like to thank Dilrukshi, Layangi, Mahisha, and Asha for joining us. Stay online, and I'll hand over to Rashana. I think you are here.
Thanks,
Yes.
Kay. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone had a brief about what we are conducting as General Spoken English and Business Communication, and you all had an idea. So I'll just brief what we offer to our students. I hope my screen is visible. Yeah. Can someone tell me if it's visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Can see, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Thank you. Thanks. Moving forward, our Assistant General Manager, Pugudu Inatisa, gave an idea about Colombo School of Business and Management and what we are doing and what we offer to our students and corporate leaders and all that. And moving forward with program overview. The importance of appropriate language is used in this corporate sector is very vital. During in any platform, we need to use spoken English, like virtual, physical, corporate, internal, and external. Depends on how the communication bridges the gap appropriately. And improper language can lead to like being misunderstood and many more things. So we need to have knowledge in spoken English, communication skills, and language etiquettes. And also by learning this program, you will all cover these areas, and you will also get what are the benefits of good communication. And program objectives, by the end of this course, students will have a fundamental understanding of how to apply better English to their day-to-day functions at day-to-day life. So better communication skills include reading, writing, listening, and spoken language. And as learning outcomes, we expect our students to have the ability to use better spoken English and have improved writing skills, be familiar with professional terms and expressions, and knowing self-learning and improvement techniques for pronunciation, enhance presentation skills. And this program is specially designed for those who wish to improve their spoken English and who would love to learn further. And we offer 20 hours in spoken English, as mentioned. Like there are 4 different modules: presentation, speech making skills, improving pronunciation, making small talk, present your thoughts, and 4 modules in business communication techniques, reading techniques, making presentation are the 3 modules that we conduct for business communication. And we deliver sessions via Zoom over 2 months time period, including assignments and group activities. So as we planned, we will be having sessions on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And after every module that we conduct, the next day you will be having a group activity or an assignment with the lecturer. So you will be engaging with the lecturer, and you will improve your knowledge, and you will try to come up with something, like rather than just doing sessions, we have assignments and group activities developed for you all to improve your knowledge further, because spoken English is something that you need to have in practical, not writing or whatever. So you will need to talk to others and in an open space and make mistakes and talk. So that's why we also offer that group activities, assignments, that sort of thing, where you will improve yourself further. And a certification will be awarded at the end of the program for the participants who successfully complete the program. And 75% attendance is expected to eligible for certifications. And the duration is for 2 months and 14 sessions. So Dilushi and Langi will be our guest lecturers for 2 days. They will do the guest lectures. And also other lecture panel, our internal lecturers, Asha And Mahisha, Suwani Kaushalya, and Krishani will join meantime. So they will do the lectures for the students. That's about it. And we conduct lectures through Zoom. And going forward, I'll be the program coordinator, and from the other hand, Nimura will be there to coordinate the program. So if there's anything that you all want to talk and ask about the program, you all can go ahead. This is actually a brief about what we deliver and how it's going to happen. So if there's anything, you all can unmute and ask. That's one question.
Hi, what is the investment of this program?
I'm sorry, could you please repeat that question?
There's one question, Kay. Shall I tell?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So he's saying he doesn't have confidence and I can manage to speak. The sadness thing is recently I failed at the interview because I couldn't speak in front of the panel. So what shall I do for this? That's his question. Manuka.
Okay, so that is one of the main things we like to give everyone is confidence to speak. Especially facing interviews at a certain age, at any age facing an interview is not easy, but especially when you're young and you're starting out, and sometimes, when you enter organizations, they can be very daunting because they are, either very well dressed and they look, far more fluent or in charge than you do, and all of this anyway you are nervous, and therefore then talking becomes even harder. So one of the areas we are covering is presentation skills. The intention of that section is to give you confidence to present something, present yourself, present a product, a service, make a presentation and present that, like a subject. So that's what presenting is about. Presenting is about speaking out. One of the biggest things that helps you with making good presentations and gaining confidence in speaking is speaking. So even if it means spending 5 minutes a day in front of a mirror, and as strange as that sounds to you, you need to talk to yourself, right? We are in electronic era with mobile phones. Talking to your phone. Read a paragraph from a newspaper or a book into your phone and listen to it. And you must hear your own voice. That is very, very important. Your confidence gathers the more you hear your own voice. So speaking to yourself, facing a mirror, hearing out loud. If you can go sit under a tree somewhere, if you don't want to do it in the house where everybody can hear you, you build yourself up to a spot. It doesn't take a lot, but it has to be done every single day. That's how you build confidence. So speaking to your phone and listen to yourself. Get yourself a simple book, a magazine, a piece of newspaper, it doesn't matter what. Read a paragraph into it and play it back into your ear. Listen to your voice. Enjoy the way your voice sounds in the language. It's about, that's how you start building confidence. Hear your voice out loud. And that's one of the things that we will be teaching within the program, and it's very important. So I am sorry about what happened, but I do wish you much more the next time you face that interview. Do practice a lot more and you will get better. Okay, is there any other questions?
Yes. What is the investment? So the investment is 20,000. We have a discount offering this week. If you all are joining before next Monday, we can offer you the discount for 20. We can offer the program for 20,000. And there's one question: how to improve writing skills specifically in academic contexts?
Asha, I'd like you to take that one. Asha?
Yeah, Miss Krishani. Yes.
How to improve academic writing skills?
Yes. I think that's a difficult question, difficult area that all of us maybe at the initial phases. So here, I think that the vocabulary is the major reason for this. So in when we write other kind of ordinary writings, it differs with the academic writing because of the language and the words that we use. So that depends on the structure, language, and the vocabulary. All the things go together. So especially now in this context, I think with the academic writing, it's better to read a lot. Reading gives you the benefit of catching up the structure, catching up the differentiation between the ordinary writings and academic writing, especially to catch up vocabulary. So in the program, we will be gradually giving you that kind of exposure to you from these ordinary kind of writings, how we will go with the academic writing and how our writing should be improved gradually with that. So I think it will be a great opportunity for you if you join with this to have that. And apart from that, I think it's better to read more kind of research papers, research articles, especially there are news articles which are more into this academic writing rather than descriptive set of information. So I think reading is the best strategy in here. And to catch up, there are certain writing patterns that we can catch up. So it's better to go with a simple writing pattern, which is easy for you, which is convenient for you, and just practice it several times, maybe once a week or so. Just practice it. Through practicing, we can catch it up. So I think so. It is helpful in that regard.
Did that help you? Academic writing is a whole different thing, and I maybe you're a student. You have asked the question because you're a student. So yes, it is a demand of your assignments and for your submissions, and there will be a certain style, a certain method also being demanded from you, from the school, from whatever the program that you, from whatever the degree or the course you are doing. So you need to follow those guidelines. It's not one is academic writing, one is style. And you have to merge these two things together. So we will help you to understand how these work together so that you can, carry on with your projects for your studies. Any other questions? Are we good? Okay. Perfect timing. All right. Okay, then I think we can wind up once again. If there are no other questions, if there are numbers and emails and ways of contacting us. Did I hear anyone?
I think there's a
There's an echo, is it?
chat box K.
Yeah.
Course duration is too short. How to improve English within 24 hours?
And the same question that I wanted to ask.
Yes, please go ahead.
Dilipa, you can ask that question, Dilipa.
You want to know how to improve English in 24 hours. Is that your question? Okay, he's in the bus. But did I get the question right, Dilipa? Yeah, how to improve English in 24 hours? Is that what you asked?
That could be the reason, K, because this program we designed for 24 hours.
Okay, it doesn't mean that it's 24 hours as in a day, but now the pace of the program is twice a week. And after every module, we give you a take-home activity which supports the learning and how you use the rules you make. So what we fundamentally focus on are rules and systems of language learning, by which when you follow, you automatically have a small, how do you say, it's like a puzzle. It comes together of improvement of language. Of course, it has to do a lot with you as well. In between, if you will do additional reading, if you will do some additional activity exercises, it will further improve. A course and a program has to have a targeted time frame with an objective. Within those hours, we can give a certain amount of knowledge, technique, and improvement. Language is a lifetime learning skill. So if in that regard, we would have to be in school forever if we wanted to put it in that perspective. But the design of the program is to give you a set amount of improvement in a certain amount of time to make it practical to follow, plus applicable for you in your immediate careers, in your workplaces, and in your immediate environments. I hope that answered your question, Dilipha.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Can I get the support of making presentations for my office work and sales speeches as well? Can I get, apart from the course syllabus, can I get that support from the panel?
If you mean guidance on how you make a presentation for a sales pitch, is that what you're asking?
Yes, some of my presentation, if I say I'm intend to do some presentations during the course, so can I get that support from the panel for my office work?
Yes, so you could use what you need to use for your work. And now we would ask you to do something. You can use what you need to use for your work in the program itself. That way you get a very relevant guidance. Now, say, for example, say you're selling insurance, just as an example, and we say do a presentation. You can make your presentation on selling insurance. Then you will get the feedback on your presentation, what you could have done better words that you could have used, how you could have pitched it better, that sort of thing, the descriptions, all of that you would get based on what you do. So you can make it very relevant to you. Is it understood?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, and you are anybody who joins the program, you know, whilst we have a lesson plan and we have activity, we do encourage the student to bring us their problems of language so that we can help you out with that, which is why we say, tell us what you want to know, tell us where you are struggling, to show us what you find difficult, and we will help you. We encourage you to bring us your problem. With the language, that is, and we would help to solve that for you. Okay. Any other questions?
Hello everyone, I'm Sanka here.
Hi Sanka.
Hi, and I have a question, especially maybe the lecturer Krishani or course coordinator Rashana can answer. And I have talked to the Mr. Pubudu as well previously. I joined into this session. So my concern was actually, so I'm more looking for the more spoken activities within the class. For my clearance, so could you please explain how that aspect is included to your classes? So if I suppose that you have the 20 people join with the particular class, so within 1.5 hours, do you have allocated time for the individual speaking, or else are you focusing to have it in the take-home activities or any other kind of activities beyond the regular classes?
Okay, so spoken English is practiced in several ways or different ways. Now, say for example, sometimes when you are, we might show you a picture or a diagram or a scenery and ask you to describe it. Now, by doing that, you learn topic, description, you learn how to express yourself. You learn different aspects of vocabulary. When we do presentation, you learn different aspects of vocabulary. So like that, spoken English is incorporated in every lesson into a certain part of the lesson. So everybody does get to interact and speak. So you are taught the relevant aspects of spoken English in each lesson. Maybe I will ask, okay, Dilrukshi, could you just give us just a little bit about how you take on your the descriptive language segment, because I totally enjoyed that particular lesson of yours. I think he'll be interested in hearing that. Please go ahead.
Sure. Thank you, Krishani, and thank you, Sanka, for your question. I think that is a very valid question where you might wonder if we have about 20 students in the class or in the batch, how are we going to allocate it? So what happens is, Sanka, maybe we will initially take you through little technicalities as to how to manage our spoken language. And there onwards, it's all about how the batch or the students, how they practice it. So we have, in the sense, allocated time for each person to speak, and also sometimes, some, if you are interested for them to take the opportunity to speak additionally, maybe we will have little bit of activities. So what happens is, Sanka, sometimes through, my experience was, some of the students, they get very nervous, maybe fear of could be the language or how we present it, sort of. What happens is sometimes they do not take that opportunity and they do not attend the lesson where we have the practical session. So in that case, if we lose that opportunity, then we might not get a platform to practice it. So we do have sessions for all the students to practice it. And also additionally, if we want, we can also, exactly like Krishani said, if there is a requirement where you want additional, so maybe along with how we manage the other lessons during the sessions, we can always create a platform to give you the opportunity to speak it. So language spoken is all about the practical aspect of it, where we have to speak. So the very important point that we have to remember is to take that opportunity and speak and practice and receive the feedback that the lecturers are giving. And because we have seen the improvement from where they started, because last Monday we concluded a batch, and then there was a massive improvement, and they also said that they can see their own improvement. So that gives us also happiness. So you will experience it where you are given that opportunity to practice your speaking, Sanka. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, Dilush, yeah, thank you very much for the descriptive answer, and Krishani as well. So I got the point. My concern was that because the business communication is that at most the communication. So until we practice, until we don't practice, I believe that we don't improve. So that question was based on that point. Thank you.
One thing we do encourage is that you please attend lectures. Excuse me. Lots feel that they can, listen to a recording whilst the recording is available and learn. You can, but you miss out on critical learning when you don't attend the session, because that one-on-one correction, when you're listening, you're only listening to the record. You don't get to actually participate in it. So attending the lecture is very, very key, because the most learning happens within the lecture. You can always revise and re-listen to it afterwards, but participating in the lecture is where the learning really, really happens. So we very much encourage that. And we have a marking structure for the program based on attendance as well, because, that's where most of the learning happens. So attendance is very, very key. Okay. Is there anything else we can help anyone with? right, we're good, I think. Are we good? Rashana, anything? Can you see anything?
Yes. No. All good.
There's one more. See? Okay, so thanks. All right.
Thanks. Yeah.
So if we have, okay. If we've got no more questions, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Dilrukshi, Langi, Mahisha, Asha, Rashana, Kubudu, Ninura behind the scenes, and everyone else. Great team. Thanks for being here. And hopefully we'll see everyone at registration. Okay?
Well done.
Thank you. I have
Thank
shared
you.
our details on the chat box itself. So if there's anything that you all want to clarify and figure things out, you all can just drop a text on WhatsApp even, that's fine. So I hope everyone got something from the session and got an understanding of what we are offering from this program. So if you wish to enroll for our program, please do drop in. So thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for all our lecturers. Thanks, Kushani, and thanks, Boo. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you.